Welcome back to the Insights Unlocked podcast. I'm Nathan Isaacs. Today's episode is a conversation we recorded at the Human Insights Summit with Liz Miller of Constellation Research and Andy Parquette, Senior UX Designer from Panera Bread. They explore the ever-evolving landscape of experience research, innovation, and the challenges of designing digital experiences for a diverse audience. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Insights Unlocked, an original podcast from User Testing, where we bring you candid conversations and stories with the thinkers, doers, and builders behind some of the most successful digital products and experiences in the world, from concept to execution.
They're like, could you please start this? Because we're talking about mac and cheese now. Okay, are we going? Is everyone ready? All righty, here we go. Andy.
Yes.
Hi, welcome to the living room. How
Thank
are you?
you.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a great time.
How's Seattle treating you?
Seattle's beautiful. Second time here. We arrived on Sunday. Got to do a little exploring. I actually really love the weather. It's been pretty hot in Boston where we're from.
Yeah.
So loving the respite, loving being on the water. It's great.
Well, Andy, tell us, who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for?
All right. My name's Andy Parquette. I'm a senior UX designer at Panera Bread. So we're based in Boston, and I've been there for about 2.5 years. And you know, we're a small UX team, and we really run the gamut. So all the way from the left diamond to the right, research to visual. We do it all, and I'm really meeting a lot of people that are specialized in research, and I love it, and I wish I had more time.
Yeah, you're like, I wish I could do more of it, right? But Panera's a really interesting, I don't want to call it a property, because you guys have so many things you do in so many digital spaces. So maybe before we dive into kind of the questions of the, you know, what do you see and what do you want, kind of share, because you've got Panera, you've got Panera Catering, right? And those show up as like 2 different tabs on your site, but you can also dive into it in different areas. But you've got everything from like a membership club, a SIP club, a menu, order online, order in a group, order in catering. There's a lot going on. So describe for me the universe that kind of design and UX touches when it comes to Panera.
Yeah, it really, the sun never sets on what UX really touches.
The sun never sets on grilled cheese. That's going to be your new T-shirt. Absolutely. For Panera. You're welcome.
The grilled cheese and the Sierra turkey. Everyone loves the Sierra turkey. No, so we all, as UX designers, we kind of own our different features, our different work streams, right? Yeah. So you mentioned kiosk, app, catering, and our retail website are bigger sort of chunks, if you will. But then we have our larger initiatives like SIP Club, which my coworker Wendy owns. I own catering.
Wendy seems to be doing a lot of things that will make me mad. Like cheese, and now she's got SIP Club.
Yeah.
We'll deal with Wendy later.
The Panera SIP Club is absolutely fabulous for our business, right? And
great.
The more customers we talk to, and certainly that Wendy talks to, they love what this is doing for them, right? And they just come in and out, and they love to get their beverages, their free beverages. So really, I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm focused on, I lead the catering work stream.
Love it.
And I was actually you mentioned the tabs, which I love that you saw. I'm a big reason that is put up in the navigation because of a usability test I ran of folks ordering catering orders on our retail website and vice versa.
Oh.
And why? So how do we dig into that? So that tab really proved to be pretty instrumental. So did the group ordering come from that as well, or is that's another work stream that you've got to then make sure is connected and integrated? And where's the handoff and the pass off? Yeah, so group ordering kind of came from that. I mean, catering is our larger orders, and then group ordering is really, like you said, for office folks to get together in the office. And I feel like my lunches were a group order in and of themselves when everyone else was catering, but that's fine. Yeah, we have group order, and then we had Panera Day at Work as well, which deliver it to the office, and you can come pick it up. But then you guys have also, and Panera as an organization has been very comfortable with wanting to bring on things like AI, try new things. So as a designer, when you work for an organization that's like, yeah, sure, I'm open to that. Let's have AI in our ordering.
What does that mean for you? Is that exciting, or is it a little more like, okay, how do we plan more? How do we have more research available so we know if this is working?
No, it's very exciting for me. The opportunity to add AI really anywhere in our experience. Really, I look at it as something incredibly exciting, incredibly interesting, something we could do, if I may, right? On the catering work stream, we have something called popular bundles. And we have customers just really love to get these bundles delivered to, like you said, to your work event. And folks don't really know, like, I don't know what to order for 50 people in a meeting. So put in your dietary restrictions, put in your number of people, put in X, Y, and Z, and then to an AI.
It populates
it creates the bundle.
Love that.
And we just had an Innovate team thing where I'm really, really focused on this and how can we use AI to make our customers' experience
I love that.
Much better.
I feel like the question, describe what AI means to you in 5 words or less, is a little useless to me right now. I'm just going to throw that one on the floor. Okay, as companies are being challenged to innovate faster than ever, in what ways do you see design and research workflows changing?
I mean, in terms of Panera, I mean, design and research, it's going very fast, right? I'm meeting a lot of folks here, like I said, that really focus in on research, and they can spend weeks and months doing usability, discovery, all of this. And unfortunately at Panera, we don't have that time. I'm seeing that it's we'll do a discovery, we'll run a usability test, or like Wendy and I were talking, we do one qualitative study and sort of use that as our North Star in a way.
So being able to iterate that quickly and like having something where like, hey, I could pop this out in 10 minutes and get that response back, that becomes something really important for you.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, okay, I can wait 3 weeks to get this back. And, because you need to move fast because your customers are moving faster, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And we have limited time, and we have to fight for that limited time. So make your choices carefully, do the research, and then really hold that up and keep it.
Yeah, that's
keep it as your North Star.
I love it. So here's an interesting question. Are you guys in the office or are you remote?
It's a bit of a hybrid situation.
Okay.
Our office is in Newton, right outside of Boston.
Yep.
And
said correctly, because I know it's Newton instead of Newtown.
Newtown, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Same way, I went to school in Western Massachusetts, out where Chicopee is like a thing.
Yep.
Right? And you don't call it Worcester. It's Worcester. It's not Worcester.
Worcester.
I'm not going to go and get my Panera over at Worcester.
Yeah.
I'm going to Worcester.
Worcester,
yeah, exactly.
Gloucester.
Exactly.
So
Gloucester, that's a good one.
So many Boston towns.
Newton, Quincy.
Quincy. Yeah. Chelmsford. I could go on. I could go on.
Okay, so here's the good question for this.
Reduce your average sprint time and get your products to market faster with continuous customer feedback from user testing. Whether you're launching a new product or prototype, get real-time video feedback straight from the source. Digital product teams leverage the user testing human insight platform to help them make their most critical development decisions, always putting the customer first. Target your exact audience, ask questions, and get a window into their world. The result? Your teams are building better products and experiences that your customers love. To get started, visit usertesting.com/audio.
Considering the benefits and the challenges of remote, and I'm also going to change this to say remote and hybrid work environments, how can technology platforms facilitate communication and collaboration between your teams? How are you using that right now?
Well, we use a lot of Teams, Microsoft Teams, and so we're hybrid. So we go into the office as a design team at least once a month. It's very important for us to get together. And now, as we present to stakeholders, we do that in the office as well. But we are still very remote. So we use Microsoft Teams. We use Zoom as larger. For larger meetings, but then we use Figma and FigJam as our our golden affinity mapping places, and so we love all of us going into one file.
And is that where you're kind of trying to bring in, like we were talking about how the research becomes that North Star, right? Mm-hmm. And that feedback, especially that dynamic feedback loop that you're getting with your customers.
Yeah.
That becomes the North Star. Is that where you're kind of trying to bring that into FigJam and be like, hey, remember when the customer said this? Did we think about it here?
Yeah.
How are you trying to do that?
Well, so I actually just talked to someone last night about the integration between user testing and Figma.
Oh, yeah.
And how now we can pop videos, because videos we're now becoming more and more obsessed with.
Yeah.
In our presentations. But now we can pop the video into FigJam, and we've got the sticky notes next to the videos.
Yeah.
And as a team, we can all go in there together. And like you're saying, and we can all sort of map our sticky notes, our insights together. And as we were talking in our last session, how can we, what am I seeing versus what are you seeing? What is Wendy seeing? What are we seeing together? And group them together.
And are we seeing it in the same place?
Yeah, and watch those videos, absolutely. And the videos, the users don't lie.
Love that. Okay, favorite fruit that ends up on a salad at Panera? Like the apples, the strawberries, what do you like?
Strawberries.
The strawberries are good,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, strawberry poppy seed salad's one of my
favorite. The apple one, it's like it gets a little tart. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's a little like user testing nugget back into the Panera system.
All
like,
right.
But so I do like that. I do like it. Okay. In what ways can we increase cross-functional collaboration between design, development, and research teams? And I think for you guys, I think at Panera, and correct me if I'm wrong, like when I imagine how this goes, there's also another team that you can be collaborating with. And user testing is probably, part of that, right? Which is your customers.
Yeah.
Right? Because your customers are experiencing Panera in very different spaces and places.
Yeah.
But digital is still touching all of them, right? Whether they're ordering through a kiosk, whether it's online, whether it's, all the places you talked about. So how does that become something that's cross-functional?
I love that question. So in order, I'm always trying to get development, product, design in the same room.
Yeah.
It's not always feasible, but that's incredibly important. We don't necessarily work in squads, if you're familiar, right, with that layout. And so trying to get all of us into the same room can be very difficult. But I myself have what I call these UX weekly meetings where we get everyone into a room and we just talk. We talk for an hour, about designs. Maybe I have new designs coming up. Maybe I just did research. But when it comes to actually including the customers, I love that you said that. I go into the cafe. Typically, it's just with product.
Yeah.
Because our developers, we're in Boston. A lot of our developers are actually in St. Louis. We can zoom them in. We can kind of include them that way. But we go into the cafe a lot and talk to customers. We can watch them use our kiosks. Watch them use the app, and just really include them that way.
Yeah. Do you also do that for the folks who work in your stores? Because that kind of becomes like the lost, unsung hero of the customer experience is, do they understand what you're designing? Do they understand how to use the solution?
I have to say, that is kind of an untapped resource that we don't use that.
Well, there you go. Wendy, get on it.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Like that I'm giving everyone else.
I know.
I didn't give you that action item. Gave it to Wendy.
Gave it to Wendy.
Yeah, gave it to Wendy.
We need to talk to our cafe associates a lot more about, what are you seeing on the ground?
Yeah.
How are people struggling?
Yeah, because it becomes a really interesting opportunity. Because I can tell you, I have stood in front of a kiosk and been like, I just can do this, right? Like it's that moment where you're like, I can just do this. Did I just add a cookie? Because I'm always adding a
exactly.
cookie.
Why I had someone say that they couldn't add a cookie on kiosk, but there was a tray of cookies out there. And it's because kiosks saw there was a miscommunication, and they're like salivating over the cookie, but they couldn't add it to the order.
Oh, bless them!
Bless them indeed. And
taking a cookie.
They left without a cookie.
I love it. Okay. Did I just ask that? I just asked that. I'm trying to ask you the same question twice. Oh my gosh. Okay. What benefits and challenges arise for designers and researchers from integrating various tools and platforms into a unified workflow? Too many cars on the highway?
I mean, yeah.
Sometimes?
I've in my career, I've run into tool overload.
That's a good point.
And how do we ramp up on Figma, FigJam? Those are super easy, but how do I ramp up on X tool, Y tool, A
right,
tool,
and then you're like,
B
you've
tool?
got Asana, you've got like you've got every other thing that's coming and telling you.
And how do they speak to each other?
Yeah.
I just actually saw the other day user testing integrating with Teams. Yeah. Now we can easily sort of send videos to our product folks and get them excited, as we were talking about in my last session. But yeah, it could be tool overload, but I love the idea of using more tools to really get to what we're looking for. So if it's
helping
valuable.
You have conversations outside of design, right? So like when marketing storms into the room and is like, we want a completely different thingamabob in the blah blah, and you're like, that doesn't happen that way, right? So like, are you finding that you're also having to use some of these tools to be like, or even something like a video from user testing to be like, I know that you want that image to be that, but here's what 5 people immediately said, and here's the video clip of it. And oh, by the way, we did this in 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah, you're triggering me a little bit. The past couple of weeks, right, we're actually running a user test about putting brand sound into our app. So how do we do that in the best way? Let's run user tests. Let's do competitive research. All of this. And so, we're gathering a lot of videos around what users are saying. Where is it a delightful experience? Yeah. And where is it a hindrance? And actually, users, how do you use your phone? Yeah. And how do you use sound? Is your phone always on vibrate? Is it haptic only?
Yeah.
Do you wear headphones? All of these things.
Are you driving madly trying to get to your green goddess salad faster because someone's going to steal it off the shelf from you?
Exactly.
Not now that I'm triggered. Now that I'm triggered about having my bag stolen. I know. I'm like, woof, woof.
Yeah.
So what do you see? Like, what's the next thing that really gets you excited about what's happening in UX and what's happening in design? Like, you personally, like, what are you fired up to go do when you get back to Boston?
I have to say, and this is not, it is because I'm at this conference, but I just have to say research. I really want to bring back, and I think Wendy agrees, I want to bring back and be an advocate for more research. I'm really, my eyes opened, and I was telling Wendy before I got here, I had a little bit of imposter syndrome because there's so many people that are just UX research. They live and breathe it. And I love that we're generalists. I love that I do visual, wireframing, all of it. But does that mean that I maybe don't do research enough, right?
Right.
I'm advocating for it, but I advocate for one, and maybe we need to do 5 to get the insights we need.
I love it. I love it. Hey, everyone, give it up for Andy in the living room. What do y'all think? I kind of feel like we have to give it up for Wendy, too, because I just gave poor Wendy.
Give it up for Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy. Wendy came to the living room and got more assignments. Brave girl. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course.
Want to keep the conversation going? You can find the show notes at usertesting.com/podcast. If you haven't already, don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, or Google Play so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, please share it with a friend or leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And until next time, this is Insights Unlocked, an original podcast from User Testing.